Okay, so I'm leaving the KOA. I think the route I wanted to take, which is on the other side of the river, might have some road closure. But I'm gonna try it anyway. We'll go as far as we can east on the other side of the river, and with any luck, the road will be open. Definitely going the wrong way right off the bat too, so my nav is not turned on. I need to find a place to stop. I should have got all situated before I left the KOA, but to be honest, my neighbor camper was really cute and about my age, and I kind of had a crush on her, and she was chatting with me and stuff. But then I wanted to look all tough and cool when I was leaving. So, yeah, so I was a little bit distracted when I pulled out, and didn't have my shit ready to go. So let's get my shit ready to go now. All right, let's see what's going on with the nav. Well, my nav will direct me if I could just turn it on. Like, why won't my nav connect? I might have to restart my phone. This is so tedious. All right, we're back at it. That took about 10 minutes of starting and restarting shit. So annoying. And I'm hoping that the road closure data is outdated. To be clear, I have no reason to believe that it's outdated. This is just all hope. I believe that's Bridge of the Gods. Oh, yeah. And it is a toll bridge. So we might be paying a toll for nothing. Well, not for nothing. We're going to see this bridge. We're going to go across it. It's a really cool bridge. All right. I hate graded bridges on motorcycles, even when it's dry. Yeah. Fun bridge, huh? Might have to do it again almost immediately. Well, I guess we could just turn around right now. The sign says right there that it's closed. Oh God, if my motorcycle will reconnect to my phone. Oh boy. Wi-Fi error. Fuck. Please restart your phone and the TFT. Come on. Wow, what a tedious departure today. Partly my fault. You know, had to come across the bridge, even though I knew the fucking road was probably closed. Because my nav said it was closed, Google Maps said it was closed, but I was like, maybe it's not, maybe it's not. It is. Oh, okay, it's connected now. Let's get the fuck out of here, for reals. Back across the Bridge of the Gods. Pay toll again? Kidding me, there's a toll both directions? Maybe she'll let me bypass the toll. Hi. Yeah, the road's closed back there. Thank you. I want my $2. I can't believe she charged me again. Seems a little bit heavy-handed. So getting off the freeway and heading towards another toll bridge apparently. Thank you. Have a great day. Oh shit, this bridge looks even scarier, you guys. Fuck, it's narrow. Oh my God. At least it's not as high up. I sure hope the grading doesn't go the entire way, but it probably does. God, it is graded all the way fucking your crotch. Oh man, my arms are so tense. I gotta relax a little bit. Just relax.
After crossing and recrossing the Bridge of the Gods, fiddling with the finicky navigation app, backtracking on I-84 for 20 miles, then crossing the Hood River Bridge, which confusingly spans the Columbia River, not Hood River, I put wheels to ground on Washington 14. Now, I feel like my day has begun in earnest, an absurd 2.5 hours after leaving camp. Well, it's a day for leisure. The sun is shining, my bike is firing on all 2 pistons, and I've never been taller in my life. Washington 14 is a pleasant ride, and though I was on it for only 10 miles or so, it has over 100 miles of G3 road alongside the beautiful Columbia River. If you're into pleasant rides and you're in the area, it's worth doing. The area is absolutely riddled with amazing motorcycle roads, and I intend to ride them all someday. But that day is not today. Today I ride north towards Lake Chelan and the final campsite of my trip.
I drink Pedialyte as opposed to water because Pedialyte has all those hydrocarbons that are necessary for brain stems. Just wanted to show you this overlook to the Columbia River. I think I'm done showing you the view. So it's time to get back on the bike, back on the road. Let's go see something or do something we've never seen or done. I don't burn that bridge when we cross it. That break was longer probably than it should have been. Come on, you motherfucker. Connect. Jesus Christ. It just feels like one of these days. Wow, what a shitty little lake. If I was that lake, I'd be real sad about my life.
I make my way towards 142, the Columbia River to my right, gleaming under a high, indifferent sun. I'm not saying goodbye to the Columbia, I'll see it again later in the evening. But for now, anticipation gnaws at me. After a tedious morning of false starts, too many breaks, and not enough coffee, I'm keen for the fun to begin.
That's our road, 142. Have been on 142. No question about it, I think. Yeah. This looks adventure-y. One thing I do like about being out here is there's basically no LE.
The Klickitat River drains into the Columbia River, and for 20 miles, Washington 142 follows the Klickitat through a canyon. 142 is a G2 road for 20 miles, twisting and dancing through the canyon, offering views of inner peace and visions of eternity. I love the landscape. This is one of the transition areas in Washington, where you could experience the lush greenery transforming into rugged cowboy country, where coffee has to be black and unsweetened in order to maintain its ruggedness. It would have been a lot quicker to stay on 14 all the way to 97, but this was a way better, not a shortcut, and I was enjoying every pivot, every lean, every vibration.
I don't know if I would want to drive all the way down from Seattle or ride all the way down I-5 just to get here. This is a valley, right? Little valley between hills. Are these hills or mountains? What's the difference? I don't know. I think hills are ancient mountains that have been rounded out from time. Time-rounded mountains. Totally making that up. Half off all metal art. That's cool stuff, I guess. It's funny to say half off, like, I don't know what the full price was to begin with. And for shit like that, I have no idea what's fair. You know, you can't go to Target and buy the same thing, so who knows if it's actually half off. Therefore, why even saying half off? It's a meaningless phrase in that context. Unless you live in this house right there, and you've been eyeballing the metal reindeer, and then suddenly the guy's having a half off sale, and you're like, yes, now is my time to buy that metal reindeer. No center stripe. Hell yeah, that's my favorite kind of road. Ah, this is just great. I'm loving it.
Just north of the small town of Klickitat, State Route 142 loses the center stripe and starts climbing. From here, it's a G1, and the reason I took this route. It's absolutely stunning. The turns are turnier, the cliffs are cliffier, and the danger is more dangery. Sadly, this section is only about 3.5 miles. As I climb the side of the canyon, I can't help but think I'm the coolest person on the planet because I'm the only person on this road. I've been on it several times now, and strangely, I've never seen another motorcyclist. Well, I'm here to tell you, as a destination, it may not be worth the trip, but as a detour, it's 100% worthwhile.
Switchbacks up this hill. Slash mountain. Yeah, how high we already are. There's the road we were just on. Guardrails. That is too safe. Where's my danger?
This land is dramatic, yet understated. Like a cowboy that wants to be alone in a crowd. Seen but not heard. Admired but not understood. Enigmatic, unknowable, eternal. It has a knack for being picturesque. Daring the influencers to influence. The reelers to reel. The creators to create. But this place has already been created and I'm just a visitor. A tourist passing through. A fraud. Imposter. My cowboy hat doesn't fit right and I don't like my coffee black. Riding through this area, I feel the pull of two worlds. The paved roads twist like frayed threads, weaving between undulating hills and cliffside vistas. Yet at every turn, the wilderness beckons, unapologetic in its rawness, daring me to leave behind my comfortable city life. The towns here feel like afterthoughts, charming in that weathered by neglect sort of way. The kind of place where every creaking porch swing tells you it has seen better days. Those people at Butler Maps know what they're doing. I've never been disappointed by our road they've rated G1. This area near the Columbia River has a handful of G1s, a dozen G2s, and 6,000 G3s. One of these days I'll come down and camp for a few days just in this area so I can ride on them all.
Yeah, so that road was rad. I loved it. I think we're done with twisty stuff for a while. I think we're actually going to hook up with Highway 97 again. The same Highway 97 that we took north of Oregon. Anyway, we're heading into a really cool, and I mean a really cool canyon. I just love it. We're not going to have to go fast at all to enjoy it on this bike. Yeah, that's what I like about this bike. You know, like, even mildly twisty roads are super fun on this thing. Look at this canyon. Blasted rock on both sides of us.
This is the Yakima Canyon, which follows the Yakima River. It's an optional bypass for I-82, which, according to some sources, adds basically no time. I've ridden this route 1,100 times, and there's never any traffic. So the only reason to take I-82 instead of the canyon would be if you love interstate highways, which you don't, so you wouldn't. It's not an exciting road. There's no danger, no cliffs, no switchbacks, no hairpins. I wouldn't ride all the way from Seattle just to go on this road, but if I'm already down in the Yakima area, it's worthwhile. And compared to the interstate, its 3.7 Infinity's better. Butler Maps gives it a modest G3, the lowest setting, but water will boil eventually, even on the lowest setting. At the far end of the canyon is Ellensburg, where I'll rejoin US 97, which connects Ellensburg to Leavenworth on the eastern slopes of the Cascades. Unbeknownst to me at the time, that segment of the ride will be terribly windy and not that much fun, which is why the video will skip over most of that section, and why I'll also retroactively savor the Yakima Canyon a little extra.
I bet there's a hiking trail that summits one of these peaks. I actually don't dislike hiking in this kind of terrain, because at least you have vistas. And I think I would like that more than just hiking through a forested area. Trekking, I like. I just don't like walking up steep inclines. I'm sorry, I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy walking upstairs either.
The Yakima Canyon is the cleft on the chin of the jaw on the face of a cowboy. A face that grew up attached to a man that knew his way around a horse, in all the ways that come to mind when I say, that man knows his way around a horse. The kind of cowboy that started smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey before I even learned to tie my shoes. The kind of cowboy that gets up at dawn, rolls up his bedroll and slings it over his horse, and rides into the sunset even though it's just past dawn. The kind of cowboy who drinks cowboy coffee, because any coffee he drinks is cowboy coffee, because he's a cowboy. This is the kind of cowboy that has a cleft chin, and that cleft chin is the Yakima Canyon. The Yakima River cuts its way through the canyon, looking for a shortcut to the ocean, but it gets lost in the golden hills and can't see the horizon. It flows in the wrong direction for several days, inland and more inland, and then it finds the Columbia River, which shows it the way. Every time I ride through this canyon, I think about how kids get so scared when they get lost. Most kids do. And it's because they think their parents don't love them, and they probably don't. But that's not why they get scared, that's just why they get lost. But I wasn't most kids. Whenever I got lost as a kid, which was never, I just reminded myself that I was born a cowboy, with a 6-gun on my hip and a cigarette between my lips. And then I'd take a sip of my cowboy coffee and I'd know which way to go.
Love this shrubbery out here. I think it's so cool. Reminds me of cowboys riding horses, chasing bank robbers to join their club. I've been on this road a number of times, and I'm still surprised by the size of this river. This is no like podunk backcountry stream, you know? But this thing has some width to it. It has some girth. That's indisputably a river. Nobody's gonna argue with you and say, no, that's a stream. What's the difference between a stream and a creek? I don't know. More vineyards. Yay, vineyards. What's this on the road? Don't look at it because you'll run over it. The skunk. I see an IHOP. I think there's a rule that wherever there's an IHOP, there's also a Starbucks. I don't need a cup of coffee, but I do like to use their bathrooms. Just as like, you know, service to them. This is a fun little area. I feel like I'm a homesteader right now. Are we homesteading? I love this kind of landscape, this kind of terrain. I don't know why. Maybe because it reminds me of freedom. Hell yeah! Usually when I go off route, there's the valley over there. That's cool. It's we gained some elevation and we're on some sort of plateau. Maybe that's why it's so. That cow is out of bounds. You're out of bounds, sir. Please go back to where you're supposed to be. Look at this little fucking situation. It's like a little miniature canyon. Looks artificial, but it's to say synthetic. That back there was a nice place to take a break. I saw a porta potty, an espresso stand, picnic benches. Is any of this fun stuff open? Well, none of it was open, but I didn't see a lock on that porta potty.
Gotta say, I'm happy with these sunglasses. I think I'll wear them more at home. I don't wear them that much at home. Basically never.
because I don't want to obscure my pretty eyes. Back on the road. That was a nice break. A little bit longer than well, no, it was the right length. I needed that break. So we got about 25 miles until we hook up with Highway 2. So right now we're on a very distinctive northerly course, and we are in the Cascade Mountains. But the Cascades are 100% north-south ranging. So I've always been curious about, what is this highway cutting through? Is it just like doing a pass sort of on the shoulder of the Cascade Range, just for the sake of maintaining north-south, you know, because that's what Highway 97 does? I can't tell where the shoulder is right here. Some garbage pavement. Wow, that is a big fake rock. Wow, that's a cool view, huh? Big old valley. I don't know what that valley is. Alright. Lake Chelan State Park. There we go. Oh, what a cool view. There's Lake Chelan down there. What a rad view. So Chelan is 10 miles from here, but the state park is right around the corner. Hi. Oh, right here. Nice. No privacy to speak of, but who needs that?
No drama getting to camp, though my quest for the evening beers added a layer of absurdity I hadn't anticipated. My comprehension of spoken language was at an all-time low, perhaps residual effect of hours of road noise, hours baking in the heat, or maybe just the slow unraveling of my brain after days on the move. Whatever the reason, directions to the beer station slid off my mind like water off waxed leather. And so began the odyssey. I set about going the right direction, then second-guessed myself with self-doubt and backtracked, then went the wrong way for 3 miles, then third-guessed myself with renewed faith and vigor. At least I was on a motorcycle. I'd never outsmart the directions, so I surrendered to fate and went to town. This was the last night of my trip, my final campfire under an open sky. I had earned these beers through grit and misdirection, and by God I was gonna savor them. I cracked them open one by one. The hiss of carbonation was a sigh of relief, the last breath of a dying man giving up the ghost on his cowboy deathbed. The fire crackled and hissed like my beers. The night wrapped around me like a warm blanket. And for those few hours, there was nothing to chase, nothing to forget, nothing to remember, and nothing gold can stay, which is my favorite poem. And for a cowboy, that's saying something. It was a good night.